Hi, I'm Stu from HiveMind Automation and welcome back to the Hive. In this video, we're going to be taking a look at integrating my new Panasonic air conditioner into Home Assistant. It's a little bit involved because we need to install a custom component from HACS, but we'll go through it together and we'll see how well it works. So while I roll the intro, why don't you take a moment to subscribe and hit the bell icon so you get notified when I release new videos each week. While you're at it, if you like what I do here and you want to help to support the channel, there's some affiliate links in the video description to a bunch of home automation gadgets that I've reviewed in the past and other ways to support the channel, like supporting the channel directly through my Buy Me a Coffee link. With all of that out of the way, let's get started. So a couple of weeks ago, we got this Panasonic 8.1 kilowatt split system air conditioner installed in our main living area. 8.1 kilowatts of cooling capacity might seem like a big system, but it's a fairly decent sized area consisting of the lounge room, the dining room, and the kitchen, plus a fair chunk of the hallway. We did spend a fair bit of time trying to figure out the right system to get, and we landed on the Panasonic for a couple of reasons. Firstly, it was readily available from the good guys. Secondly, it was $2,799 plus installation with a cashback offer that essentially brought the price down to $23.99 plus install. And thirdly, the Panasonic air conditioners have the Wi-Fi card as standard. We were looking at a couple of other brands and the Wi-Fi card was an extra $200 plus on top of the already more expensive base unit. Not to mention one of the other brands that we were looking into was only available from one retailer, and since some controversy surrounding the Australian JobKeeper program, that particular retailer is now on my blacklist and won't be receiving any more of my money. It's definitely worth mentioning that the Panasonic air conditioners, and to be fair, most air conditioners with any kind of Wi-Fi connectivity do rely on a cloud service. So it's guaranteed that there's going to be some latency when we're controlling the device. But for something like an air conditioner, I think that's okay. We can bear a couple of seconds between the command being sent and the device taking any action. If it was something like a light or a smart switch, it's a very different story, because that couple of seconds of not having light can be very frustrating. Now, to connect the device to your home's Wi-Fi, there's a bit of a process, and it's very important to pay attention to the on-screen instructions, because if you try to forge on and not read the instructions like I did on multiple occasions, you will get quite frustrated, and more than once. To join the air conditioner to the Wi-Fi, when we first open our Panasonic Comfort Cloud and finish signing in, we're not going to have any devices visible on the My Home page. So we need to hit the plus button. Then we'll be asked which appliances we want to add, and we'll choose an air conditioner. It asks us what the remote control looks like, and in my case, I'll be selecting the wireless remote control. Then it is asking us to check the front panel sticker and to prepare a 2.4 gigahertz Wi-Fi network. So here you see me checking that I'm connected to the HiveMind IoT network, which I've set up to be 2.4 gigahertz only. Once we've confirmed we're on a 2.4 gigahertz network, we need to confirm what the front panel sticker on our remote looks like. And in this case, we've got a front panel sticker with only one QR code. Next, we need to find the Wi-Fi button on the remote. For mine, it was under the sliding cover, and it's a recessed button, which meant I needed an iPhone SIM eject tool to press it, but a paper clip would also work here. Once the LED on the air conditioner was on, I hit next on the app. And then this is where I started running into trouble with not reading and following the instructions properly. In order to create the pairing Wi-Fi network, you need to press and hold the Wi-Fi button for 5 seconds until the light blinks, which was simple enough. The part that I missed in the instructions was then I need to press the up or down arrow until advanced setting 2 is shown on the remote, and then press set or send on the remote itself. Then, and only then, you tap the next button on the app. You'll be asked for permission for location services and then permissions to join the Panasonic COS Wireless AP wireless network. While connecting to this wireless network, I did run into some weird communications errors, but hitting OK and then next again allowed it to try again, which worked fine. It then popped up a prompt asking me to enter the pre-shared key for the air conditioner to connect to the Wi-Fi, which I did. And it also displayed the MAC address of the AirCon. So if I need to give it a static IP later on, I have it right there. Once hitting OK on the prompt for the password, it then asked us to wait for the wireless LAN LED to change to a solid on state, and it states that it could take a couple of minutes. It was flashing a little bit quicker at this time, and as soon as it went solid, we can then click next. It then asks for permission to join back to the HiveMind IoT network, which I hit join on. The app then took a couple of minutes to search the network for the air conditioner, and I did have to hit retry 5 or 6 times, as it seemed that the aircon took a good 10 minutes to negotiate the connection with the Wi-Fi. This could in part be to do with overcrowding on my 2.4 gigahertz Wi-Fi network in the back half of the house. It was pretty frustrating, but we did get there eventually, so all was okay. Once it was connected, we then checked the box next to the unregistered air conditioner and then tap register. Then we got to yet another part where I failed to read the on-screen instructions. To register the device, we need to press and hold the Wi-Fi button on the remote again, and then this time we're selecting mode 3 and then hitting send. And then we can tap next on the app. Once it's finished refreshing and locating the air conditioner, it's asking us to enter a password from 8 to 15 characters in order to complete the registration. Now, annoyingly, the password error messages are cryptic because all of my passwords contain a combination of letters, numbers, and special characters. But it turns out that this registration page just plain does not like special characters, which in 2023 seems absolutely ridiculous. Once that password is set, we can give the aircon a name. Mine is in the lounge room, so I named it quite imaginatively Lounge AC. And then I hit register. And now we can control the air conditioner with the native app, which we'll take a closer look at very, very soon. Okay, so now that was pairing the aircon to our home Wi-Fi. Let's now take a moment to explore the native app. So I'll open up my smart home folder on my phone here, and I'm going to scroll to the right to find the Panasonic Comfort Cloud app, and I will open that up. And now we have the Lounge AC there. You'll see that it's currently showing degrees Celsius because it's not running currently. If I open that up, we see that we have 2 different temperatures in the top left-hand corner. We've just got the name, which is Lounge AC. We've got the 2 different temperatures in the top left-hand corner, and in the top right, we've got today's date. We've got the various functions here as well. We've got cool, we've got dehumidify, we have Nano EX, which according to the marketing materials from Panasonic, creates nano droplets of water with a charge that apparently helps moisturize your skin. I'm not sure if that's just a marketing ploy or if it's actually effective, but it's certainly interesting. We've got a fan function and we've also got an eye function. And if we scroll across here, we've got auto and we've got a sun, which is heat as well. So there's a fair bit of functionality there. And because it's off, we can't really do much, but we can see that down the bottom underneath the temp selector, we've got the fan speed, we've got an auto function there for the swing back and forth of the swing, and we've also got the left and right swing controls there as well. We have some statistics here, and we can see things like estimated energy consumption. We can see the temperatures in Celsius for both indoor and I believe the outdoor unit as well has a temperature sensor there. And this has statistics for other days there as well. So you can actually see where it's been run. The statistics there, which is quite nice, and we can do that by day, week, month, or by year. If we back out of there, we've also got a weekly timer here, so we can set all off and all on, and we can send a weekly timer, and we can edit the schedule there as well. I'm going to turn that weekly schedule off because I don't have anything there. I will back out, and what you're going to notice, I'm going to turn it on, and it's going to take a moment before it sends the settings. So just take a moment to pay attention to that. So I'll turn it on. And then it took a couple of seconds and it said sending settings. And then once the sending settings screen disappeared, the air conditioner unit itself then started to turn on. So as I mentioned before, you'll see that if I go to a cooling setting, we can grab the temperature and we can change that there. And when we do change that, it does again do the same thing where it takes a second and then it sends the settings. I'm currently on quiet mode, and we can change that to powerful mode if we wanted to, which turns the fan and the compressor up, I believe. I'll take that back to quiet just so that we're not struggling here. And on a cooling mode, we can have that Nano X mode on as well. If we were to just run the Nano X mode, we're not cooling, we're just creating those micro droplets, and it's running the fan as well. The iAuto X, I'm not sure what that does. I don't want it at 25 degrees though. I'll set that to 20. So the iAuto X, I'm not really sure what that does, to be perfectly honest with you. I would have to read the manual there. But we can see the air swing up and down, which is set to auto. We can see the air swing left and right, and we can turn that to auto, or we can change it to a specific position. We can hit the plus and minus to change the temperature settings here. And back on a cooling setting, when it sends the settings, we can change our fan speed here or set it to an auto setting there. In the top right, the hamburger menu here, we see we've got some details of the owner, things like your user list, changing password, replacing the device, and changing router settings. We've got a device list, which just goes to my house, and you can change things like the air conditioner name if you like. We've got a group list, so you can create groups. Application settings, so you can change the language for the application itself. There's a user's manual, so you can take a look at either a built-in, an external, or a ventilator user's manual. So if I go to built-in, this is going to take me to the Panasonic website, where it's going to find the user's manual, and it should also give me the correct one for the device that we're actually looking at, and it seems to be specifically for the wireless network module, which seems a little bit strange, but that's It's odd that it wouldn't give me the user manual for the full unit, but that's okay. We've got some terms of use. We've got a privacy notice. We've got copyright. We can see we can delete our Panasonic ID or we can log out. It's worth mentioning when we go to the device list and we go change here, we can actually see the model number as well. So this is the CS-Z80XKR, and so if I back out of the device list and go to users manual, CS-Z80SKR is not in this list, bizarrely. Okay, so now we know more or less what to expect from the native app. I'm not expecting any better in terms of that delay when we get into Home Assistant, but let's take a closer look. So first things first, we're going to have to install the custom component for the Panasonic Comfort Cloud. Now, the good news is we can do this nice and easily from HACS. If you've not already installed HACS, you're going to want to do that first. I've covered that in a previous video, which I will link in the top right corner of the screen now. Provided you've already got HACS installed, you can go into your Home Assistant instance, go to HACS, and then go to Integrations. And we can click Explore and download repositories. And I'm going to search for Panasonic, and I'm going to choose the Panasonic Comfort Cloud integration here. It's obvious that it's the right one because it's got the same icon as the app on my phone. And so now we've got the Panasonic Comfort Cloud, we can take a look at the features, etc. But we can hit download and we're going to download and install that. So with the Panasonic Comfort Cloud integration installed, it's telling us it's pending a restart. I'm also going to update these other repositories local to your Music Assistant and also all of HACS as well. And once those are done, I'm going to restart Home Assistant. Okay, so with Panasonic Comfort Cloud installed, I've also run the updates for Music Assistant, local to you, and HACS. What we can do now is go to Developer Tools. I'm going to just check my configuration out of habit. Configuration will not prevent Home Assistant from starting, and I'm going to restart Home Assistant. And that will reload those custom components so that we can set up the Panasonic Comfort Cloud. Now in a moment, Home Assistant will come back up and we will set up the Panasonic Comfort Cloud. Okay, so it looks like Home Assistant has started back up. So I'm going to head over to Settings and then to Devices and Services. And I'm going to scroll all the way to the bottom here and click on Add Integration. Now I'm going to search for Panasonic and we've got Comfort Cloud there. So I'll select Panasonic Comfort Cloud. I'm going to need our Panasonic Comfort Cloud credentials. So I'm going to enter those here and I'll hit Submit on that form and it should now discover our lounge AC. So we've got the CS-Z80XKR Panasonic. I'm going to obviously put that into the lounge and I'll tap Finish there now. So if we scroll back up a little bit here, we see we've got the Panasonic Comfort Cloud integration and I can click on one device. And we've got a couple of controls right here. We've got the lounge, so we can see here the current operation is cool, the preset is eco. We've got a fan mode of high, mid, and we've got a swing mode of auto. So we can do things like changing the temperature here, and you'll note that it was red for a second and then it changed to white. And I think what that's doing is it's taking a moment to send. That's that delay that we saw with the app. It does seem a little quicker than the app though, so that's fairly interesting. I'm going to set this to fan only. and it did take a second, and it changed to fan only, triggered by a service climate set HVAC mode. I'll change that back to cool because, to be perfectly honest with you, it is quite warm in here. As you can no doubt see here in the top right corner, it's currently 27 degrees. So, and that's inside. So I do want to cool the room down a little bit. With the preset, I'm going to change that to none, and we'll see what happens there. So that's turned off that quiet mode of the fan. So it's come up a fair bit in terms of the fan speed. We can go to boost, and that's gone even more powerful with the fan. I'll take that back to eco, so it'll be in quiet mode though. And we can back out here, and we see we've got this Nano E setting here as well. So if I open that up, we see that we've got the different toggles there. So there's a fair bit that we can actually see with regards to the data here, including the current settings, etc. The other great thing here is we've got some sensors. We've got an inside temperature sensor and an outside temperature sensor. So it's 31 degrees outside, it's 27 degrees inside. So we know exactly the temperature that's in the room, and that's at the indoor unit, obviously. That said, we do have other sensors already in this room, so we could probably combine them to get some decent data. Now, this being a cloud connection, we do know that there's probably going to be some delays in the updates, and it also kind of looks like the resolution isn't super great, but it did drop from 28 to 27. It is a full degree step. There's no decimal places in that sensor, and the same with the outdoor has dropped from 31 to 30. So now that we've taken a look at the settings, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to head over to this demo dashboard that I've got here, which is a completely blank demo dashboard. And I'm going to click the kebab menu here and hit edit dashboard. And I'm going to click on add card, and I'm going to scroll through here. And the first thing I want to do is I want to add a vertical stack. There's a reason I want to do that, and you'll see that later. So the first thing that I want to do is I want to scroll through the list of cards that I can put in my vertical stack, and I'm going to select this thermostat card. And it's already selected the lounge AC, so we don't need to worry about changing anything there. The next thing I'm going to do is hit plus, and I'm just going to put a button there, and what I want to choose here is Nano E. So Lounge AC Nano E, so that we have that there and we can turn that on and off. Now if I hit save on that and then hit done, we now have this vertical stack of a thermostat card and the Nano E toggle. So we can turn the aircon off, and it did take a second, but it has started to do its shutdown sequence. So now with the aircon shut down, I'm going to click the button to put it back into cooling mode to see if I can work out how long it takes. So from now. So it took around about a second, and to be perfectly honest with you, I think that's actually quicker than the native app, which is just bizarre. So that is the Panasonic Comfort Cloud air conditioners and getting them integrated into Home Assistant. Thanks to the HACS integration, it was particularly easy to get this set up. So if you are in a position to buy the person who made that HACS integration a coffee, I absolutely recommend doing it if it helps you out. I think I will be doing that. So now with our air conditioner integrated into Home Assistant, not only can we now control it from a wall controller, which I will be doing a separate video about setting up the wall controller now that I have most of the parts ready to do that. But with that, we can now start thinking about some different automations that we might want to run, such as cooling the main living area if the temperature rises above a specific threshold, or being that it is a reverse cycle air conditioner, we can also heat the room if it drops below a specific threshold. If we want to get extra clever, we can then place some conditions around those automations, such as only triggering them when there's somebody at home, or even adding the condition that it only runs when our solar system is producing above a set threshold of power, so we don't then end up spending too much money on power. Or if you are an Amber Electric customer, you could also set it up so that it'll only automate when the consumption price is below a set threshold to get the most possible savings. I'm really happy with the Panasonic Comfort Cloud integration and with the air conditioner. It's unclear if the Nano E function is a gimmick or if it actually does work. That said, I do know that charged particles in the air will attach themselves to dust and should help to reduce any kind of dust floating around in the air. So it may even help with some of my hay fever symptoms on days when there's a lot of pollen and dust about. That is all we have for this video, and I do hope that it helped you in your home automation journey. Be sure to comment down below with a home automation idea you'd like to see me cover in a future video. Don't forget to follow HiveMind Automation on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. And if you like this video, hit the thumbs up button down below to give it a like. And if you're not already subscribed, now is a perfect time to change that. And if you hit the bell icon, you'll also receive a notification when I release new videos, and that's normally every week. Lastly, if you like what I'm doing here and you want to help to support the channel, there is a Buy Me a Coffee link in the video description down below. Any contribution you make through Buy Me a Coffee gets put towards making more and hopefully better content for you to enjoy. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Stu from HiveMind Automation, and I'm looking forward to seeing you next time. Bye for now.